This is one of my favorite things to do with Tamiya glue. If you have like a mold line or something and you want to soften it up a little, you can take the glue out of the bottle, wipe the excess off on the rim of the bottle like that, and you just dab a little on there. Just gentle brush strokes, and then once it softens up a little bit, you can then touch it up with the brush, or you can also be a little more stern with it and go in with the knife. A lot of you probably know this, but you can freeze green stuff. So I've got my same lump of green stuff I had yesterday. I pulled it out. It was in a plastic baggie. It was kind of rock hard when I pulled it out, but you start working it a little bit and it will warm up a bit. So it cures by being warm. So if it's in a warmer environment, it'll cure faster. If it's in a cooler environment, you'll slow that down. I don't know how long you can freeze it for, but hey, pretty cool. Especially because I consistently mix way too much. So a lot of these guys have one sci-fi arm and one cowboy arm, and there's a little mismatch in details between them. They've got a glove on the sci-fi arm, and then they don't have a glove on the cowboy arm. That doesn't bother me as much as they have this little elbow pad, and then they don't have it on the other side. I think I'm gonna just do the elbow pads, not worry about gloves, just to even it out a little bit. Give it a little bit more of like a nod to like an academic twill sweater almost. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put some green stuff on here and then roll it out a bit. You can tell from this knife that I've done this before and it has stuck to the knife. So I'm going to let this dry for a couple hours, maybe just an hour. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to cut the elbow pad shapes into it and then glue them onto the arm. It's way oversized, but I'm going to cut it down. Here's an example of what that can end up looking like on a mini. I've got this Moria Goblin that I kit bashed into a, I think it's an assassin or a scout for 1490 Doom. And in 1490 Doom, everybody's got these gas masks. And so we made this one where he's got this little wire coming out that's meant to be an air hose. And then to sell the effect, he's got this belt across him. And so what I did for that is I rolled out green stuff, let it dry, and then I cut the belts out. And it actually works really, really well if you do it well. It's still pretty flexible. And it just comes out way sharper than if you were to do that with green stuff that was completely uncured. Someday I should do a little video about my 1490 Doom guys, because they're like the thing that got me back into this hobby. And I love them to bits. I've got this guy with a little snub nose signal pistol, and I'm going to try my best to give him a little front sight on it. I think it's called, like the front part of an iron sight, because right now it looks a little funky, and I think that will help. It can be tough. Just score it a little bit, give it something to adhere to. Nothing is sticking to that, so okay, here's idea number 2. I'm going to take the tiniest little bit off of this shark tooth and try to glue that on there. I almost could just use like a random piece of sprue, but it's going to be so hard to carve it at that size. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Oh, for fuck! How else can I do this? What are other things I could be doing right now? At what point is this self-harm? It's like almost too big. It's so tiny. You know, here's a wild idea. Why don't I just make the sight out of super glue? Does that work? Can you hear my cat? He's grumpy I'm doing this. I'm not paying attention to him. So I strung this guy up to dry by his ankles. The super glue for the front sight. That looks so much better than super glue has any right to look. Holy cow. But it looks a little funny. Like I gotta trim that off. But holy cow, that looks so good. Cool, that's gonna do it for now.